What's up, guys? Welcome back to Cold Beer Ranch. I'm John, and today I am going to save you so much time and potentially help you make a better decision when you're searching for property in Texas. So I have been looking at property for over 6 months, the last 3 months very aggressively. I'm going to tell you all the little tips and tricks that helped me or that I figured out along the way and share it with you so that you don't have to spend as much time and potentially could save some money and make a better decision when you're trying to find that perfect dream property in Texas. All right, guys, I know there's probably many ways to look for property and find that dream property, but this is the way that I did it. This is my experience over the last, really, it's been about a year that I've been looking. 6 months, a lot more detailed, last 3 months, very aggressively. And it's the process that I come up with. So if you use it, it may be able to help you avoid some of the pitfalls that I fell into and find that property in a shorter amount of time, maybe help you make a better decision and could potentially save you some money. So the process that I use is called SUCR, S-U-C-R. It stands for search, understand, communicate, and record. And we'll go into each one of those separately here during this video. So first, let's start off with search. So of course, it's always a great idea to be pre-approved, talk to your lender, know what your budget is, but we're assuming you've done all that and you kind of know the area that you're looking for. The bigger the area, the more opportunities that are out there. But if you know where you're wanting to purchase property, you'll be able to hone in into that area and probably get some more details around what's going on in that area. And that's what we're going to talk about first. Obviously, online search is the way to go. The sites that I used are Lands of Texas, HAR, which is Houston Area Realtors, and LandWatch. Those are the websites that I've gone to, spent hours and hours on there. You can really filter your searches down and find what you're looking for within the budget you're looking for, within the amount of acreage that you're looking for. And those are a great place to start to begin your search. So, but it's not just going and looking at those sites, although that's great. So another thing that I use is Google Earth. And the reason I use that is it's very important because when you're searching for that property, you're not just looking, obviously you're looking for the piece of land. Say you're looking for 40 acres and you find it in an area that you're not familiar with. So go to Google Earth, zoom into that area, and you can find other surrounding areas. It's important because if you're going to have a piece of property somewhere, you might want to be close to a Walmart, close to a Dollar General, close to some grocery store, a hospital. How far away is the hospital? If you're going to be on that property working, using chainsaws and tools, and you have an how long is it going to take you to get to a hospital to get some help if you need it? Or if you have animals and dogs like we do, if your dog, something happens, gets bit by a snake, where's the nearest veterinary clinic? So these little things, hospitals, vets, grocery stores, tractor supplies, lumber stores, those things, how far away are they? How far are you gonna have to drive to go get the supplies that you need to do the things that you wanna do on your property? So Google Earth is great for that. You can zoom in. A lot of times it tells you exactly what's in that area or maybe how close the nearest store is or nearest town is. One thing I like to do is go into Maps, Google Maps, and put the address of the property that I found and then see how far it is to the Walmart or the town or the hospital and kind of get an idea before I make my decision. So another thing that I like to do that's really, really important, that's helpful, is go to a website called citydata.com. When you go to City Data, you can find out the demographics, the crime rate, the population, the education, work that's available in that area. It breaks it all down real nice and neat in some graphs over the period of the last 10 years or so and tells you what type of area that you're moving to. You'll learn a little bit of more information about it. And it also, you can find out some history about the towns that are around the area that you're in. And finally, one of the things that I tried to do that was a little bit more difficult, but you can go out there and try to do, I think it's on a FEMA website, is go look in the floodplain. You want to know if the property that you're getting is prone to flooding. A lot of times they'll disclose that information, but you really want to go check that stuff out so that you know ahead of time that you're not buying a piece of property that's useless. So I did have that happen to me. So that is search. That's what the S is. The next thing that we need to talk about is understand, because you can spend all this time on Google Earth and Google Maps and looking at all these different websites to find the property that you're looking for, but you need to get out there in the field, on the property, and find that what you're seeing online, that the pictures that they're showing are accurate. Because a lot of times Google Earth is 10, 12, I don't know, 15 years old, and the picture that you're looking on Google Earth, it might look like the land is all cleared out, but when you show up there, you've got 10, 15 years worth of growth, which basically you've got trees in an area that you thought was cleared out. And the only way to do that is to go out there, get in the field and look. Don't forget your snake boots. Don't forget to wear long sleeves. Don't forget to have the things available. You might want to bring a change of clothes, because if you're going to be out there walking, some rubber boots or something, if it's muddy, that kind of thing. And when you're there in the field, you'll be able to have a better understanding of what the road is like getting there, what the town is like around there. You got to get out there and look. You got to verify what is going on. So that's the understand. You need to understand that what you're seeing online is accurate or not, and that'll help you make the decision. I saw a piece of property once that I thought was perfect amount of acreage. I drove out there. The road to get there went from a concrete road, blacktop road, gravel road, dirt road, grass road, and all kinds of ruts and mud, and I couldn't even get to the property. It looked like a great property, but the amount of money I was going to have to spend to make the road worthy enough to get out there and feel like I could get out there by myself and not get stuck, I scratched that property off. So you got to get out there and look. The important part is when you're doing the search, you can narrow down to a few select properties that you think will work, and then go out and do the understanding or verifying in one trip. Maybe you visit several properties and save you a little time that way. So with that said, the next one is communicate. Remember, we're working off Sucker, S-U-C-R. Communicate is super important. So when you're out in the field and you're verifying the piece of property, if there's neighbors and you can get to them without trespassing or being intrusive, or maybe you see somebody driving by that's on the street where you're looking for property, just stop them and ask them, hey, I'm looking at buying property here. What can you tell me about the area? Do you like living here? What do you like best about this area? And they'll talk to you. People love talking about where they live, especially if they love it. Or they'll tell you, hey, there's some issues here. We're looking to leave. And that'll be an indicator for you. One time I was at a piece of property, and this isn't a property search that I was doing, but I was looking for some property with my son. And we just walked next door and talked to the neighbor. Hey, what do you know about the area? And he told us, you see that stop sign over there? And we're like, yeah, we see the stop sign. It's a regular stop sign. The top of it's probably about 8 foot tall. It's, just a regular street sign that you would stop at on the road. And he said, yeah, here a few years ago, we had a flood so bad that water was above that stop sign. And we were just like, holy moly. I said, so that means that there was about 8 foot of water in your house. And he goes, oh, absolutely. So immediately struck that off our list of potential properties. We couldn't figure out why this house looked so beautiful and everything was redone in it. Now we know. So communicate, talk to people around in the area, talk to people at the store in the town, whatever you can find out that's local that you wouldn't see online or be able to just assume yourself is much better information that can help you make a better decision. Along with the C for communicate, you want to talk to your realtor. Your realtor has access to documents that you may not have access to on sites like HAR, Houston Area Realtors, or other sites. They can pull up the survey so you can be able to look and see what the actual boundaries are for that property. And they have other documents, like maybe there's deed restrictions or some kind of ordinances that you have to follow. Sometimes lands come with conditions that you have to follow. Can't build 100 foot off the property line or this and that. When you find that, like I found a property in Central Texas at one point where they were saying you couldn't build in a certain area, you couldn't have a travel trailer out there. There's all these restrictions, and I'm like, scratch it off the list and move on. Finally, you want to record everything. So make you a list of the properties that you're looking at. As you go out there and physically visit the site, bring your phone, record everything that you see, record the road going down there. If you got a drone is a must-have. So, but if you don't have a drone, you got to take a lot of video. It helps you when you're filtering through the properties to make a decision later. What kind of trees are out there? What kind of roads are out there? What kind of neighbors you have? But a drone really gets up and helps you identify things that you can't see from the ground. You're able to fly over into the property. If you're looking at 40, 50, 60 acres, you're not going to be able to see it all. But if you have a drone, you can get a really good picture of what the property is like, what kind of trees are on there, what kind of cleared areas are out there, and what your neighbors are looking like. If your neighbors are storing a bunch of old junky cars and, it looks like they're cooking meth out there, you might not want to, get that piece of property. If your neighbors have a nice house or whatever, then, it could help you in your decision. So I have a DJI Mavic Mini. Comes in a case like this. I think this thing was a few years ago, about $500 on Amazon. Little tiny baby drone. It just opens up. I mean, this thing's a must. It's so resilient, and I beat this thing up, and it works great. It opens up like this. Very, very small. See my hand? I fly it. It has a gimbal camera right here that works freaking awesome. And I just keep it in my truck, keep it charged up. If I know I'm going to that property, maybe it's an hour, 2 hours away, I plug it into my truck and charge it up on the way, put a fresh battery in it, and jump that sucker up in the air and get some really good footage. I'll put some footage here, obviously, to help you guys understand what that looks like and what a difference that can make when you're choosing your property in Texas. Of course, this goes for any state that you're in. I just know that in the state of Texas, this is what I did. These are the sites that are available to me. Obviously, lands of Texas aren't going to be beneficial if you're trying to buy property in Mississippi. So along with the drone that I always keep, of course, I have my phone, but I also have a GoPro. I bring that with me just as well, just for different footage. Maybe I got a friend with me. They can use the GoPro to video as well. They may capture something that I didn't get with my phone. So it's always good to have spares. But all of that said, you can do it all with your camera on your phone and get good footage. When you get back home, you have all this footage that you can go through and look at, and you may see some things that you didn't see when you were out there. Plus, when you're looking at a bunch of different properties, you get them confused. They all start to blur together. All the trees look the same, the roads look the same. You're looking for a certain type of property anyways. Did this one have a pond? I can't remember. Did this one have a creek? I don't know, and so if you have the footage, it'll help you make that decision. So, all of that said, just remember, sucker, search, understand, communicate, and record, and it'll help you make a better decision and help you find that property that you're looking for. Just remember the acronym SUCR, S-U-C-R, and you can't go wrong. Looking for property is challenging, and sometimes you can save a lot of time if you know where to go and what to do. And you can save money because the sooner that you get in with how interest rates are going up these days. I know for me, I found a piece of property and then it fell through, so I had to look again, and the interest rate went up. And so almost the whole point. So if you're efficient and can save some time, this process may be able to help you find that dream property that you're looking for. Appreciate you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I love y'all. Take it easy. We'll see you on the next one.